Pet insurance. Is it worth it? Tuesday on Good Morning Washington.
Tonight, breaking news, highway horror, the horrific crash and the deadly toll, the ride to a birthday celebration turning into a mass casualty situation, newlyweds among the victims. 18 people in the limo, no one survived. 2 pedestrians also killed in the deadliest transportation accident in nearly a decade. Also breaking tonight, state of emergency. The new tropical storm, Michael, expected to become a hurricane, Florida on alert. The new justice, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, now set to take his place on the U.S. Supreme Court as the bitter partisan battle rages on. And tonight, what the senator who put his nomination over the top said about the allegation of sexual assault. Fight night chaos, the UFC match that went one more round, the brutal brawl in the crowd, the bad blood that set it all off, and the $1 million prank, the art auction that turns to theater. A painting by the street artist Banksy self-destructs moments after it's sold. The clues he revealed about why and how he did it.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin with that breaking news, the heartbreaking details of that celebration that turned to tragedy. A young woman's 30th birthday outing ending when the group's limousine sailed through an intersection, plowing into a parking lot, hitting a car before coming to a stop. 18 people were on board. No one survived. 2 pedestrians were also killed. That death toll is the worst in an accident on land or in air since 2009. Tonight, the investigation is underway as we wait to learn the names of the victims. ABC's Ariel Reshev starts us off. She's on the scene in Schoharie, New York.
Tonight, the NTSB investigating the country's deadliest transportation accident in nearly a decade. 20 people killed on an upstate New York highway when officials say a limousine blew through a stop sign, plowing through this intersection and into a parking lot of a restaurant, slamming into a parked, unoccupied SUV. Investigators today sifting through the wreckage, this man carrying a wheel out of the bushes.
From your experience, just a word about the magnitude of this.
20 fatalities. It's just horrific. This is the most deadly transportation accident in this country since February of 2009.
The incident happening around 2 p.m. Saturday. According to the aunt of one of the victims, the limousine, a modified 2001 Ford Excursion, was packed with people celebrating a birthday. All 18 inside, including 2 newlyweds and the driver, killed. 2 other pedestrians nearby struck in the crash, did not survive. Witnesses describe a horrific scene.
I heard this loud bang, and then I heard screaming.
Emergency crews from several areas dispatched to assist. This, the latest deadly accident involving a limo. In 2014, 1 person was killed and comedian Tracy Morgan seriously injured. And in 2013, 5 people killed when this limo carrying a bachelorette party in San Francisco ignited. The passengers trapped inside.
Ariel joins us now live from the scene of the accident. And Ariel, this happened during the day, as you mentioned. Do they have any idea what caused this?
Well, Tom, investigators are looking into many factors, including whether alcohol or weather may have played a role in this deadly accident. It's still unclear if the passengers in that limo were wearing their seatbelts. Tom.
Ariel Reshev for us tonight. Ariel, thank you. We turn to the other big story we're following tonight. A new tropical storm is heading into the Gulf of Mexico. Michael, the 13th named storm of the season, formed just today, and it could make landfall as a Category 2 hurricane. Florida already in a state of emergency. And once Michael makes landfall, there could be even more trouble because of another storm. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is tracking it all. And Rob, how bad is Michael going to get?
Well, the problem with this time of year, Tom, is that these storms develop quickly close to home. So we don't have a whole lot of time to prepare, and it's already a 50-mile-an-hour storm. So we expect it to be a hurricane by sometime tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. And then the latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center brings it to Category 2 status now, likely making landfall sometime during the day on Wednesday along the Florida Panhandle, channel, but this is going to be another right side heavy storm. So Tampa, the east sides of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina will have high impacts. This is the storm you were talking about. This is a deep trough that's been bringing multiple rounds of severe weather and rain across the central plains. We're seeing that again tonight with another watch out for parts of New Mexico and Texas. Flood watches from Texas all the way up through Illinois and Iowa. And you see by Tuesday, another round of severe weather from Des Moines back through Dallas. So two systems interacting, not a good week for the U.S.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on all these storms. Rob, thank you. We want to turn to politics now. In the political storm that has raged across the country, the Supreme Court showdown. Judge Brett Kavanaugh has been sworn in as the newest justice. And tonight, what Senator Susan Collins, who put his nomination over the top, is saying about the allegation of sexual assault. Here's ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri.
Newly sworn in Justice Brett Kavanaugh, ready to take his seat on the high court. But still facing a divided nation of angry protests and fierce opposition. A prominent congressional Democrat threatening to open an investigation into the accusations of sexual misconduct and perjury if their party wins back the House in November. President Trump accusing the Democrats of playing politics.
Democrats have become too extreme and too dangerous to govern. Republicans believe in the rule of law, not the rule of the mob.
Republicans hoping the battle over Kavanaugh will ignite the base and stave off a blue wave in the midterms.
So I want to thank the other side for the tactics that have allowed us to kind of energize and get involved our own voters.
Lawmakers on both sides already feeling the political backlash. President Trump told the Washington Post that Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska will, quote, never recover for siding against Kavanaugh and will lose her Senate seat in 2022.
I thought it was very, frankly, disgraceful. I've done so much for Alaska. I was shocked to see her vote.
Democrats may also target moderate Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine, who cast a crucial vote for Kavanaugh.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh was her assailant. So I do believe that she was assaulted. I don't know by whom, and I'm not certain when.
Kavanaugh, a known conservative, shifts the court's balance, something then candidate Trump pledged would lead to a change in abortion law.
Do you want to see the court overturn Roe v. Wade?
Well, if we put another 2 or perhaps 3 justices on, that's really what's going to be, will happen. And that'll happen automatically, in my opinion, because I am putting pro-life justices on the court.
But Senator Collins says Kavanaugh told her the law won't change.
Does the president now expect that we are going to see Roe v. Wade overturned?
Both Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh, in their respective Supreme Court hearings, nomination hearings, said that Roe is settled law.
Just now, Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh will start hearing cases as early as this week, and he's already ruling on some hot-button issues.
That's right, Tom. Tomorrow, Justice Kavanaugh will attend a swearing-in ceremony at the White House where he'll be surrounded by friends and family, senators, and legal allies. And then the very next day, he'll be on the bench. He'll hear cases on guns and immigration. Tom?
Tara, thanks. Next to the mystery at the consulate, a Saudi journalist who writes for the Washington Post vanished after visiting the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. His fiancée waiting for him outside for hours. A friend says a Turkish official told him that there's a high probability that Jamal Khashoggi was killed by Saudi agents inside the consulate. Tonight, Khashoggi's fiancée is still hoping that he is alive. ABC's Jennifer Eccleston reports from London.
Tonight, mounting fears over the fate of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, missing in Turkey since Tuesday after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Living in exile, Khashoggi last seen allegedly trying to obtain a document certifying he had divorced his ex-wife so that he could marry his Turkish fiancée. A friend of the writer recounting disturbing details he claims came from Turkish officials, that the Saudi national and vocal critic of Saudi rulers was allegedly killed inside the compound. What was explained to us is this: he was killed. Make your funeral preparations. Saudi officials firing back, calling the accusations baseless, then inviting some journalists to select rooms inside the consulate, saying they've got nothing to hide. The Washington Post Friday printing a blank column with Khashoggi's byline, writing in a statement, if the reports of Jamal's murder are true, it is a monstrous and unfathomable act. Jamal was, or as we hope, is a committed, courageous journalist. Tonight, that fiancée telling ABC News she believes the journalist is still inside the consulate, and Turkish officials vowing to unravel this bizarre case. Tom?
Bizarre indeed. All right, Jennifer, thank you. In the Caribbean island of Haiti, it's reeling from a 5.9 earthquake that struck the island's northwest coast Saturday night. At least 11 people have been killed, more than 100 injured. Dozens of homes, school and businesses are damaged. Haiti, of course, still recovering from the 7.1 quake that devastated the island back in 2010, killing more than 250,000 people. Next to the UFC match that started in the octagon, then spilled out into the arena and became an all-out brawl. But for the two fighters on the official card, it was already a grudge match. ABC's Marcus Moore with the blow-by-blow.
Moments after winning the highly anticipated match, Khabib Nurmagomedov vaults over the cage fencing and into the crowd. An explosive and brutal brawl erupts in the stands. And watch closely as it devolves into chaos in the octagon, too. Watch the man in the red shirt scaling the cage, punching McGregor, who tapped out of the sanctioned fight only moments earlier. It was pure pandemonium. Police later detaining 3 men, reportedly members of Nurmagomedov's team.
It's bad. There's going to be an investigation by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. There's going to be big money fines, and these guys are in big trouble.
And the undefeated Russian athlete apologizing, but pointing the finger at McGregor's corner.
He talked about my religion, he talked about my country, he talked about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus.
Khabib referencing this wild incident in April when McGregor threw a dolly at Nurmagomedov's bus. He also tries throwing a metal railing. McGregor pleading guilty to disorderly conduct. The fighter on Twitter reacting to this weekend's match, ready to go another round, writing, quote, "Good knock, looking forward to the rematch." Tom, after the match, the UFC president said that McGregor declined to press charges and that all 3 men who were detained have been released. Tom.
Marcus, thank you. Next tonight to the health alert about a rare illness striking children. Minnesota officials report a spike in a polio-like disorder that appears at first to be a common cold, but it can lead to partial paralysis. ABC's Janae Norman with the symptoms parents and doctors should take seriously.
Tonight, an outbreak of a mysterious disease is leaving health experts baffled and children, like 7-year-old Quentin Hill, partially paralyzed.
He couldn't move his neck and then his left arm.
Quentin spent 2 weeks in the hospital undergoing a battery of tests before being diagnosed with acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, a rare and serious condition that typically strikes children. The Minnesota Health Department says they see it maybe once a year, but have had 6 pediatric cases reported in just the last few weeks. The CDC estimates less than 1 in a million people in the U.S. will get AFM each year, but have seen an uptick in cases since 2004. There are a variety of possible causes, but no known cure.
It starts off as a common cold, but if you suddenly have weakness in your arms or in your legs, slurred speech, facial drooping, see a doctor right away.
After a frightening few weeks, Quentin's dad says he's starting to get his strength back.
Quentin's super resilient. If anyone's going to get it back, we firmly believe that he will.
And Tom, Quentin's dad says he's adjusting to not being able to use his left arm, and tonight they are optimistic that he will recover. Tom?
We hope that recovery goes well. All right, Janae, thank you. New details tonight about the shocking prank at a London auction house. Just after a painting by the secretive street artist Banksy sold for $1.4 million, half of it slipped through a shredder. You see it there in the frame. Tonight, Banksy has posted a video with some clues about how and why it happened. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche.
Tonight, the setup that shook up the art world. The British graffiti artist Banksy is known as a conversation starter. But all the chatter tonight is about his gallery painting of the iconic Girl with Balloon. The artwork sold at Sotheby's in London for a reported $1.4 million. But seconds after the sale, this happened. First, the beeping of an alarm, and then the mounted canvas disappears and emerges from the bottom of the frame, shredded. The auction house, caught off guard by the stunt, scrambled, saying online, "It appears we just got Banksy'd." The elusive street artist, who has never revealed his identity, seemed to relish the buzz. Hours later, revealing how he pulled it off, saying, "A few years ago, I secretly built a shredder into a painting in case it was ever put up for auction." Some experts say the move will make him money.
That stunt, I think, has added a minimum of $5 million to his back pocket.
Tom, Banksy's popularity has spread around the world by using his paintbrush as a tool to address social injustices both inside the world of art and beyond. Tom?
Zachary, thank you. And there's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday. The urgent manhunt at this hour for a mass serial shooter. Authorities need your help. Plus, your money tonight, the big sales.